Come and dream with me.
Hello and welcome to What Do You Want to Watch, the Explosion Network's premier media podcast. Every week we get together to talk about movies, TV, and ongoing content and help you answer the question, is there a way I could shoehorn Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's engagement into this podcast? Yes. Doing that SEO, baby! I'm your host, Ashley Liberty. Joining me today, Dylan Blatt.
Samalamadingdong.
Yep. Got nothing else to say on either of those things. Yet. On today's episode, we'll be talking about what's in our watch history, going over some film news, giving some thumbs trailers, giving this week's top 3. Kicking things off, we both went out this week to see the latest Darren Aronofsky film, Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler, where he plays a former high school baseball player who, after a serious car accident, was unable to fulfill his baseball promise, and has thus gone on to become a bartender, functioning alcoholic, and just a guy in New York City during the 1996 the film is set.
It's very specific because the baseball game. I looked it up after, no spoilers, but like,
Yes,
there's a reason they said it
from
in this time.
California, I assume somewhere around San Francisco, because he's a big Giants fan. Something that's bring up a lot. So if you really hate baseball, this is not a movie for you. But one night his roommate leaves his cat with him. No, his next door neighbor in the guy who lives in the apartment next to him, played by Matt Smith, leaves for London because his father's having a heart attack, or stroke, one or the other. Gets him to leave his cat. Wants him to, Austin Butler's character.
He wants him just to feed it, but then his like on again, off again girlfriend or whatever we call him, she decides to bring it into the apartment.
Yeah, so Austin Butler's character Hank, does. The next day, a bunch of Russian mobsters are wanting to get into Matt Smith / Russ's place, and then Hank just isn't on board with that, and he gets the shit beaten out of him.
Right?
Huh?
Russian mobsters?
Mobsters, yes. I think it's established. He thinks they're Ukrainian at one point.
He thinks they're Ukrainian, but then shit, yeah.
Someone points out that they're not. So yeah, he gets the shit beaten out of him and suddenly is caught into a much bigger world than he thought. I guess is the easiest way to kind of get the overall idea. I will say right off the bat, obviously we watched the trailer a few weeks ago, and we're like, man, this does not feel like Darren Aronofsky at all. The director of what's we call it? One of the most depressing movies of all time.
Mother.
Well, Mother also, but also Pies,
Requiem for a
Dream. Yeah, all of these very depressing Black Swan, movies.
Black Swan, yep.
When Austin Butler got the shit beat out of him, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes more sense. Because that is one of the most brutal breakdowns I think I've ever seen on screen.
Realistic, I guess.
Very realistic. And kind of set the tone of more what to expect. I mean, it gets a little bit lighthearted at times, and there's a lot of eccentric characters in here. But it is not a fun caper comedy, It's a it's a tense crime thriller at times. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just feel like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of the characters who popped up at certain points. Like Regina King or Vincent D'Onofrio and Liev Schreiber show up as two Orthodox Jew mobsters. And the chemistry that Austin Butler has with Zoe Kravitz is incredible. But so you just kind of wish certain characters had stuck around a bit longer, maybe, and that kind of stuff. And I don't feel like the story was super satisfying. But I was along for the ride, and I enjoyed the sequence of events kind of played out. How do you feel about the film?
This is based on a trilogy of books.
Really? Charlie Huston obviously wrote the screenplay I knew it was based on his book. I didn't know it was a trilogy.
Based on his own book. There's a trilogy. I looked it up afterwards. I think it's very mixed. Similar to what you're saying, obviously we watched the trailer, it was like, man, is this Darren Aronofsky trying to do Guy Ritchie? And at times, that's sort of what it feels like. However, I'd say the movie is at its best when it's Aronofsky doing his normal Aronofsky-ness things which is exploring very dark subject matter. And I think whenever the movie tries to have a bit more of a lighthearted tone, which it doesn't like turn off and on, flip, like it almost like just every 15 minutes seemed to switch. Like I think that's the other annoying thing. It was like really dark, and then it would be like, oh, funny, and we're dark, really funny. And I'm like, what is the tone here? Like I'm so all over the place. And to be honest, by the time I got to the end of the movie, and the last like 10 minutes annoyed me so much, I was just like, what is this movie? Like, what is the, like, especially with, like, I looked up quickly when leaving the movie cinema, the baseball thing, so I could fully wrap my head around the end of, you know, to try and understand what was going on in the last little bit there, I guess, a bit more. But even then, I was like, I just don't feel like that tone or that message, that more lighthearted take a look at life by the end of the movie did not match up with everything that I'd sort of seen ahead of it. In one part, you've got this very dark movie about a guy who got drunk driving a car, fucked up his leg, ruined his career, has never moved past
killed his friend.
Well, I don't want to go too hard on spoilers, but yeah. Ruined his baseball career and has never moved past living in his own
depression
and whatever else. And he tries to hide it and tries to be a very flippant, like sort of happy-go-lucky guy, but he's obviously super depressed about it. And he drowns all his sorrows in alcohol. And the movie's sort of about this guy who then gets his liver removed and shouldn't be drinking anymore, but his kidney removed. And then he shouldn't be drinking anymore because he had to get that removed because of the beatdown he gets at the start, but he still wants to keep drinking because he's an alcoholic, and he's an alcoholic drowning himself because of all the sorrows and all that. You're like, man, that's a dark subject matter. But then the movie's tone is just so over the place. I don't think it does any justice to the potential of the story that's here. And it really did make me wonder. And it was one of these cases where I'm like, is the book like this, or is the book more swinging in one of the particular ways? It's just a very odd movie. Regina.
Does the inner monologue in the book make it all make more sense or something?
Yeah, I don't know, but like I don't think it's not even like Austin Butler's fine. I don't think he's great. He's just like, he's fine. He's good. I think he's really good with Zoe Kravitz. I mean, it's like, would you want to watch two hot people fuck? Like, here's like the first 15 minutes of the movie, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that was good casting. And then we move on from there and then suddenly the like dark, serious matter. I'm like, whoa, I thought I was watching a sexy crime thriller. And then other stuff happens, and I was like, whoa, I thought I was watching a dark, depressing movie. Now Matt Smith's character's back, and we're having a good time. I'm like, it's just so, I'm very confused. I didn't like Regina King in it. I thought she was miscast. She's the one person that I didn't like in her particular role. Yeah, I really thought she was miscast for that. I think Matt Smith is definitely a standout, though. Matt Smith is having the fucking time of his life, playing this fucking Sex Pistols superfan, or whatever you want to call it. And I mean, Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio have really great chemistry. They're a lot of fun. However, again, they have a scene towards the end of the movie where I'm like, I just don't feel like that's a realistic, like they would be arrested. Like, what, I'm so, yeah, it was a very all over the place movie for me. It's just, it has a lot of really interesting subject matter. I think all the stuff to do with Austin Butler's character is super interesting. I just don't think the movie does it justice at all.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, so, definitely, I'm glad I watched it, and I'm glad we got to talk about it. But I don't think it works 100%. You know, the tone's a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I mean, there's some fun betrayals, fun twists and turns, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not up to the degree of some of the crime classics that we love. So, all right, you were went out and checked an advanced screening of one of the big releases of this week, The Roses, starring Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, and a seemingly all-star ensemble cast.
I've watched the original version of this, the
War of the Roses.
Michael Douglas, The War of the Roses. Haven't for a very long time, however, so my memories of that film, watching it, a little bit hazy. Coming out of this, I couldn't help but feel like that movie escalated a lot more than this one, which is interesting considering the trailer for this made it seem like it would escalate more, but which made it interesting. But I mean, the setup for this one is the same as the book and the original version, I guess. But if you don't know, it's basically a couple. Or in this version, it's like Olivia Colman's like the stay-at-home mum. Benedict Cumberbatch is like this architect dude. He designed something. It goes to shit. Loses his job basically. So then she decides to take up her passion, which is what she was doing when they first met, which you see at the start of the film, which in this version, I think it's different in the Michael Douglas version. He's like I can't remember now, something else. But accountant? I don't know. Anyway, they starts up this restaurant and then gets really popular on social media and stuff, and it sort of blows up, and then she's doing really well, and then she basically never wants to. Now she's flying all around the place. She's getting flown out to New York all the time. Now he's the stay-at-home dad, and sort of tensions rise from there because they're unable to ever reach a balance point for two people who want to equally follow their passions, I guess. Like he wants to get back into his architect work and he's constantly like scribbling designs and stuff, but feels like he's unable to because he's constantly on dad duty, and she basically doesn't seem to want to give up her what she's got going because she loves it. I don't know. So they sort of end up in this state where they as you see in the trailer, toward like after half the movie, it does a good job at building up. It's not like they're suddenly trying to kill each other from the start, but like it builds to a point where they're basically trying to get a divorce, but they won't agree on like who gets what, and then stuff raises from there. I think that the standout to this is that Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman are both really, really good together. I saw in the opening credits too that they were both credited with I think it was executive producers or something. So must have been this, like they were both in it. Like they were both in it to make this work, and their chemistry is really, really good, and they have a lot of good back and forth for each other. Similarly, I think Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon as the other two main characters, they have really good chemistry together, obviously. And then they also work well with the two of them. This odd pairing of the British, like the first time you see them, just this movie's got some funny scenes, but the first time you meet them is like, we're going to go hang out with our American friends, because they're British and they meet at the start of the movie in England somewhere. And they move to America and they're like, we're going to hang out with our American friends. And of course they take them to a gun shooting range, and Andy Samberg's character's like, yeah, or no, sorry, it's Kate McKinnon who's like, yeah, no, I hate guns. I'm just doing this to like prove what, but then of course they start shooting, and fucking, she's got like a leg wrapped around Andy Samberg, and he's like fucking, like the most ridiculously American thing ever. And every time a gun goes off, Olivia Colman Bennett come back to like, oh shit, like, not used to it at all, which, could be me. So, I don't feel like, I feel like I had a really fun time. And I think the movie's super charming and everything like that. However, I do think the movie sort of, I would say about 70% of the way seems to just fall into its ending, which I was a little bit disappointed at, especially considering it was written by Tony McNamara? Yeah. Because especially in the 24, 48 hours after watching it, the kids who are super integral to this movie, they go off to a school or something towards the end of it, but then they just never come back at all, and it really feels disappointing. And then I also feel like it leads to a similar to finish that's, well, I remember in the Michael Douglas one. However, I feel like that did a more poetic job at like having what it was trying to say about relationships be portrayed on screen. So I don't know, it just really felt like he was having such a good time writing it, and then didn't know how the fuck to end it, and then was like, oh, I guess I got to end it the way I assume it does in the book, considering that's the direction both movies go, and was like just sort of head first into that ending in a way that just sort of felt rushed. So yeah, but otherwise I had a great time. It was like it was pretty funny.
All right, you also went to the cinema and checked out this movie that came out 50 years ago called Jaws.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about Jaws, but I will say, Never seen it on the big screen. Obviously, I thought it was really like I've seen this across multiple formats in my life at this point, and even gotten 4K and everything. But I will say there's something to be said for watching it on the massive screen. And there was just there was some shots, like even at the start, just when she's attacked and the when they first like rush into the water at the start of the film, like the cinematography there, just the way the light was shining off everything. I was like, I don't know if this is like a different version or something, or maybe it's just the screen, or so. It's like there was just certain times I was watching it going, man, this movie's like shot really well, and overall it's just like obviously Jaws is one of the best movies of all time. So happy to watch it anytime. But yeah, seeing it with an audience as well. The guy in front of me was having a great time, not yelling, which you could have, but I did find it very funny at the end. Where it was like, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and then like you could tell he'd like said the line in front of him, and he was like, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and then as soon as like he shot fucking the shark and it exploded. Spoilers. But he just said, I saw like the slightest like little like fist pump from him, like not a full fist pump, just a little like he was. And you know, I appreciate that energy. So good for that guy. Yeah, Jaws, great movie. Also, I went and brought the shot glasses and the cocktail mixer.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Was it
got
a
on
big crowd?
Too. Crowd, shut Jaws. I'd say between 20 to 30 people.
That's pretty good for.
That was pretty good for a
50-year-old movie and Tasmania on a probably Saturday or Sunday.
No, it was a
limited screenings. I'm guessing.
It was limited screenings, like one a night across 3 days or something. I think they did. I think I went on Thursday. Did I go on Thursday? Yeah, I went on Thursday because I watched Caught Stealing afterwards. So, yeah, no, I thought that was pretty good. 20, 30 people.
So I watched the documentary that recently had a full theatrical release, but now is available on Paramount Plus. Stands. So it's a documentary kind of about Eminem, but mostly about his fans and how they've it's a little bit of a like career retrospective, but told mostly through the lens of his fans, who are the ones I picked out are kind of very devoted. Like some of them are very, very committed. I mean, one of the ladies who was interviewed is like has the world record for most tattoos of another person on their body. She's got like 22 tattoos of like Eminem on her body.
Of his like full face, like body, like it's not just the word Eminem. It's like
of his face or his image, you know. And she's kind of confused. She's kind of confused as to why people find that weird. So that's a
she's the one about her. The song is. She is the one who the song's about.
There are a few people you could watching this that you could say, "Oh, that's who
I forgot this was
the song is about."
I do need to watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
Slim, I just wrote you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of delves into a little bit of the relationship between fans and artists and that kind of stuff, and how fans can become so devoted. And kind of obviously the centerpiece is the song "Stan," which kind of changed it's become the term within the popular culture. You know, you stand something, or there are stans who like are kind of too devoted to certain people and that kind of thing. And you know, you got interviews with Eminem. I mean, there's one main interview with Eminem, but if you're here to see a film in which Eminem has an extensive interview, this is not it. I would say
I don't think there is any film where
I would say maybe 10% of the film is like him being interviewed, or like
that's pretty good chunk.
I mean, of the very small percentage of stuff is in, you know,
he doesn't do a lot of interviews.
Apparently, according to the people who are devoted to him, he has a lot of interviews because they've scoured the internet. Every single interview he's ever watched, and they've rewatched them.
There'd be like a lot of MTV and like random ones, or you know, like
I mean, probably in the early days,
but
like early coming up, like obviously they like make a big deal of like the first time he's on TRL or whatever, like with Carson Daly, and like people are outside. Like I think it was the week of 8 Mile coming out. The number one album in the world, number one song in the world. probably about to be the number one movie in the world, and like the crowd outside New York is mental. So, but yeah, I mean, you dive into listening to all these people's crazy stories and how they've become related to Eminem, and it is like people of all different ages. Like, it isn't just people our age who are probably at the age where you were listening to Eminem at the same time.
I'll find it very interesting to watch it because I was definitely like an Eminem super fan when I was like, especially like grade 7, 8.
Yes.
Like in particular, like those years, I used to come home feeling fucking depressed at high school, and I would just sit there listening to Eminem like fuck the world. Like I was that guy. So like I get it.
I think you'll probably relate, but I don't know. Did you dye your hair yellow and dye your hair blonde and wear white shirts with blue jeans?
Never did the peroxide, the in the mirror sort of thing, but yeah.
No, because one of the most devoted people, I think, is Zoltz, I believe his name is, or something like that. He like, as a kid, he got his mum to get his hair peroxide, even though it was very expensive. He lives in France, and he has flown to Detroit several times, and has gone to various places in Detroit that were important to Eminem. There's even one scene where they're driving
shit heaps.
They're driving up to the place where he filmed Rap God.
They're driving up 8 Mile.
Yeah. When he's driving up to Rap God, he's like, "Oh, don't park over there." He's like, "Oh no, it's all right. Eminem's not here." He's like, "How do you know?" "I know what Eminem's car looks like." There's other like really weird stuff. It's like, apparently his childhood home was destroyed or like torn down or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, some fans probably stole his door, that kind of stuff. And like in the end credits, they've got like people who have sent 1-minute messages in, and there's one girl who's like, "Yeah, in my garden I've got flowers from your old house and flowers from your new house." I'm like, what the fuck? It's like there's a little bit of this stuff over the top. But yeah, obviously delves into Eminem's career, like his quick rise, and obviously mainly focused on the Slim Shady initial "My Name Is" through to Stan era.
So you got the Slim Shady LP, and then you got the Marshall Mathers LP.
Those
after that.
main two, and then kind of touching on his.
Then you get to the Eminem show.
Then you get then you mostly touch on D12, the death of Proof, and how that affected his life, and then kind of his life trajectory post that of having drugs, to overdosing, going to I think the album was Relapse. Then you had
shit album. No wonder why, but yeah.
Recovery or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, Recovery.
And that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I was in such a deep, remember, like I was so deep Eminem fan, like in that world for such a big part of my life. Random side tangent we're on now, but
yeah, sure.
The morning I woke up and read that Proof died, I actually cried. Like
Zoltz cried. He stayed at home for 3 months because he was so depressed.
I remember getting in the shower, getting ready for school that morning after reading the news, and I was just crying. I was like, man, Proof's dead. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was so deep in that fucking rap world at that time.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting film. Probably didn't quite give me all that I wanted. But that's just probably down to Eminem not wanting to do the type of documentary that you would want. It wasn't going to be.
I'll be shocked if we ever get the proper Eminem
full Eminem story. 6-part documentary series.
Maybe when he's dead one day or something like that, but yeah.
So yeah, that's on Paramount Plus now, so you can check that out. Before we move into the next segments, last week we ranked every single episode of Game Changer Season 7, and then those son of a bitches that dropped an extra episode of the
real season finale.
Although some would say that this was actually not actually Game Changer, but Change Gamer. So they released the final episode, Samalamadingdong, which saw the tables finally turn, and Brennan Lee Mulligan kidnapped Sam Reich and trapped him in a tower, a castle, a real castle.
Real cool.
Where he had to solve a bunch of puzzles in order to get out to defeat the Minotaur and avoid getting these horns. Don't want you to think this. Surprise.
It's a lot of fun. Sam has too much fun. He's enjoying it too much. He's sort of He should have enjoyed it less to make it.
There is the I've seen the short. I've watched the short several times of him with the peas. Him figuring out the typewriter. He's like, "This is such good game design."
Yeah,
enjoying it so much.
He's too much of a board game escape room nerd that he enjoys it too much, and it's like Brendan's trying to do this kidnapped him storyline and whatever else, and he's just not playing into it. Yeah. He's like, I'm having a great time.
Actually, that's what they should do for the next Saw movie. You know, someone just really excited to be there, and it just fucks with Jigsaw's mind. Yeah. That's the movie I would have watched.
I mean, the thing is, though, it is like watching it. I was like, man, I don't know if Brendan got help with this, but this is really well put together.
I'm sure it did.
At the end of it, in the credits, it says concept design by Brendan. So at least the core idea was all.
Yeah. I mean, a fantastic episode. Probably would crack the top 3 that I had last week. I don't remember exactly what I had, but just because of the pure amount of callbacks and twists on game elements from previous episodes and that kind of thing, and just the scale of it, like they probably spent more money on this episode than any episode of the entire season.
Fucking ridiculous, yeah.
It's like
just for Night Katie's worth it. So
yes,
different to Katie,
so good, and in hindsight, should have known there was going to be more, but yeah, what a fantastic episode. And again, go subscribe to Dropout. They make so much good stuff, and this episode is definitely worth.
Fucking episode just ends with the concert with everyone having like a rager outside the castle.
Yes. Crazy. So
why not?
It's funny because apparently Variety was in on it as well, because they had interviews pre and post the thing playing out. So yeah, incredible. All right, let's move into the mandatory Netflix segment of the show. And I checked out the big movie from Netflix this week, The Thursday Murder Club, which is based on the first of a best-selling 4 or 5 series of books. So don't be surprised if you see more of these films. So starring Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Ben Kingsley, and Celia Imrie as the core members of the Thursday Murder Club, a collection of elderly retired people who fill their time at the nursing home by trying to solve cold cases, only for a real-life murder to actually happen inside the confines of their retirement village that they need to solve. Otherwise, their retirement home could be demolished. They'll all get kicked out on the street. A really strong cast: David Tennant, Jonathan Pryce, Naomi Ackie, Richard E. Grant, Tom Ellis, Sarah Niles. It's like they got a lot of people into this. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's not doing anything flashy or super new or that kind of stuff. It's just like good old-fashioned sleuth storytelling, murder mystery kind of stuff. It just feels very comfortable and enjoyable. It's like a nice cup of tea, easy watch. Good, really solid enough twists and turns that you kept guessing as to who's behind everything, and it keeps escalating throughout the entire film, and then it kind of perfectly comes together towards the end. So I really enjoyed it. I mean, Helen Mirren's probably the standout. Like, she's the pseudo leader, I guess. And it turns out, she's I don't think it's a spoiler to say because it's in like a lot of the. It's literally listed here on the Wikipedia page. She's a retired MI6 agent, so she's got like proper like spy training. But Pierce Brosnan plays like this union leader who like obviously was like maybe when strikes were happening, he would use a little bit of force to deal with those situations. Ben Kingsley plays a retired psychiatrist, and Cecilia Imrie is the newest member of the group, who's a retired nurse who gets brought in because they needed someone with medical expertise to solve one of their latest cold cases. yeah, I really enjoyed it. Directed by Christopher Columbus. So, he hasn't done anything for a while. It was really interesting. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would not be surprised if they try and adapt the rest of the series, because apparently they're very popular. And if you can get this cast to keep doing this, why wouldn't you? So check out the Thursday Murder Club. And then we both watched Unknown Number, the High School Catfish, which is a documentary that I saw a fair bit of buzz about. It follows the case of a 13-year-old couple in the middle of Buckbuck nowhere, so a small town, who start getting threatening or like very weird messages from an unknown number, constantly, like, and it starts to it quickly escalates, and they after kind of dealing with it on their own for like, I don't know, 6 months or something like that, they finally go to the police or like the school, and everybody's trying to figure out who is behind these terrible messages, which are bordering on stalking, like threatening, like harassment. It's like all there. I mean, very simple idea or like case. I'm sure there's a lot of cyberbullying cases and stories like this, but not many have the twists and turns that this one has. Or I guess twist. There is a major twist in the whodunit element of it. Or the kind of I think they do a good job of like not teasing it out too long, and also
You find out about
shooting it in a way that I'd never guessed it. Because sometimes they'll shoot something up and go, "Oh, I know what's," because they've done it like this.
You get the actual cop body footage of the person finding out.
Yes, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that in a documentary before. Like the actual body cam footage of like them confronting
the cop being like, "Hey, we know you did it." Like,
yes. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy all the people that got interviewed on this and how this case kind of affected everybody, all these people in this kind of small town, like, or at least these people in their class, because there's like 30 people, and it's like a lot of them accused or thought of being responsible at certain points. But yeah, I mean, very interesting, and did not see that twist coming. And yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
The title's going for some major SEO that doesn't, like, it's not really a catfish, but sure. I mean, it is and isn't. I mean, like, it just feels like it's.
I guess technically it isn't, because they're not pretending to be. I mean, they are pretending to be somebody else, but it's not somebody. Yeah. They're not pretending to be somebody. They're just threatening.
I just don't. Yeah, as soon as I read, like, the title, I was like, yeah, that's just like. I get it. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I enjoyed it. I think it's an enjoyable watch. I think it's entertaining. I think it has nothing to say about any of the anything that comes up within it, because again, without spoilers, I guess, but what we're dealing with here is both. I mean, for the first half, we're just dealing with the outcome of social media bullying in the 21st century, and how that can even affect people in such a small town. They make such a big deal to point out at the start how everyone knows everyone, and it's so small, and there's only one town, only one shop, and one school. Like they point out how small the place is, and then quickly go into how massive of effect this online bullying starts to have and stuff. I mean, at no point the film really does want again, there's nothing. But I do feel like by the end, it's hard to talk about without spoilers. I think the person who did it is obviously, and they never say it, and they hint at it somewhat. Some people do. Like, the reason for it seems to be infatuation, and for several reasons, that's obviously brings up a lot of.
I don't think
red flags.
This is one of those films where it's kind of a little bit unsatisfying, because you don't know if the person who's been found out is giving their exact truth as to why they committed the things.
Yeah, well, I think they're absolutely insane, to be honest, and they are somehow allowed out of prison. But to be real, I mean, the stuff that's said in those messages, it is insanity. And finding out who it is, I was like, I don't understand how you're a real person. This, like, I just don't understand. But I think it's because they were attracted to the other person, right?
Yeah,
and then that is bringing up something that is highly illegal red flag and all these things. But the film never really touches on that element outside of a couple of hints. So again, I just felt like by the end of the film, there was no attempt to. And I mean, you could be like, well, how do they touch on those subject matters? I'm like, well, you push certain.
How do you do that while keeping that person they're interviewing involved? Do you know what I mean?
Well, fuck them. Like, I mean, like, potentially you push harder on some other people, or you go talk to some doctors. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's your documentary. You can, and this is the problem with documentaries. People go, well, how do you how do you tell a more interesting story in a documentary? It's relying on what's there. It's like, no, documentaries, you're still the director's in control of the narrative, right? If they want to go interview a bunch of doctors, psychiatrists, whatever, and say, get their opinion, edit those in, whatever, like, you can shape the narrative to have a skewed viewpoint. I often do find the documentaries where I go, that was entertaining, but didn't left me empty. It was ones where they're just trying to tell such a we don't want to
delve into it. We just want to tell the story.
We just want to have a thing, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's not.
We don't want to get into why. We just want to tell you what happened.
Yeah, we just here's what's. I'm like, this is not as interesting to me, you know, because you watch it and you go, well, obviously I'm interested in why. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we want to look into that more?
Yeah. Yeah, very crazy. Even when we find out who it is, how the people around them react, you know, and still.
I'll tell you whose side I was on. Get the fuck out.
But, you know, someone still wants to keep a relationship going and that kind of stuff. It's like very odd despite what they did. And
I mean, I get it. Like, considering, like, it's hard when you.
Yeah, just the scale. It went on for so long. It was like 2 years. It was, I think it ended up being 22 months since the first messages and that kind of stuff. So, absolutely crazy story. So, I think this is one of those stories I'm like, so crazy is like, and then when you see some of the news footage, you're like, I think I heard about this at some point. So
I don't recall, or maybe I did. I feel like I've seen the mugshot pictures before. And I maybe have scrolled through social media and just never actually looked at it more than that, but I felt like I had seen that before.
This is such a crazy story. Surely someone that we would have heard about it before.
Also, I didn't see this being posted anywhere. I just randomly clicked on it. Has this been getting a bunch of is this the current talked about online?
No, just some other people that I follow pointed out.
Yeah, okay.
So
I literally opened Netflix today as I was sitting here like doing work on this computer screen. Was like, what can I put on this screen? And I open Netflix and I see that and go, that sounds perfect for my day. You know, like that's a perfect second screen watch to me.
Yep. All right. That's everything in our watch history. Let's move on.
Also, do you want not before we move to our Netflix segment, how interesting is it that when I look for something as a second screen viewing experience, the first app I go to is Netflix. Is that crazy? That's crazy. It's like their stuff's designed for that.
Yeah, maybe. Let's move into some film news. D23 was this weekend. I don't know if you know.
No, actually didn't.
That took place.
Completely honest.
Because if you weren't at D23, there wasn't much for you. So
you ain't at D23, you ain't living.
Which is, I think, is kind of disappointing because, you know, in past years, there's been exciting information that dropped that, you know, everybody could enjoy. But, you know, this year is very much a case of you had to be there to enjoy it because they just showed some new footage. But there's some tidbits of information that are interesting. So going through some of the announcements, this is mostly the TV and film stuff. They had a bunch of like Disney park announcements, and apparently there's some new cocktails on some cruises. You know, that's the kind of stuff that these people go to D23 want to know about. You know, but they revealed a new teaser for Toy Story 5, which is of course coming next year. And director Andrew Stanton revealed a bit about the plot, saying it is about toys versus technology. Woody, Buzz, Lightyear, and the whole gang will be facing off against the Pixar version of an iPad, Bonnie's antagonistic lily pad tablet.
What?
It's like a tablet.
Okay, yeah, a tablet. That doesn't sound okay. Sure.
The tablet is getting all the kids' attention. He's not playing with the toys anymore. The toys are going to be all depressed.
Yeah. I just feel like we've done this story a few times at this point.
I don't think we have.
New toy, the cool toy. There's always like a new toy. New
but at least they're a toy.
I guess, yeah. Starts with Buzz.
Apparently, the film's opening scene sees a vast army of Buzz Lightyears washing up on a deserted island. The army will be among the film's villains as they get stuck in malfunctioning play mode. It was also revealed that Conan O'Brien has joined the cast. He'll play Smarty Pants, a potty training toy. Great. Totally on brand. They also confirmed Pixar's upcoming slate of a lot of sequels, and although the next two after Toy Story 5, well, Hoppers comes out March 6th next year, original. Toy Story 5, June 19 next year, sequel. Then they've got Gatto, which is the next film from Enrico Casarosa, the director of Luca, movie set for June 27th and follows a black cat living in Venice who forges an unlikely bond with a street artist, original. And then we're going to get Incredibles 3 and Coco 2. So that's all the following lineup for Pixar in the future. Marvel screened footage of Avengers Doomsday, but all I've heard is there was a message from the Russo brothers and Paul Rudd on set.
I highly doubt they screened anything.
No, I think it was just a message from them on set.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
We're filming stuff,
Yeah. We're filming stuff. We have no script. We're going wild.
It's crazy. We're just improv.
We're making it up as we go. You want to be in
it? They showed new footage from The Mandalorian and Grogu, in which Jin and Jaren and Grogu team up against snowtroopers, apparently. It's interesting there's still no public footage for this film, considering I guess it's 12 months away. Still a little bit away. We got information about the next Ice Age film.
But hold on, pause. Question: will anyone care about that by the time it releases?
I think so. It's so much time will have passed. We'll be nostalgic for the Mandalorian.
Star Wars. It's Mandalorian.
Yeah. Ice Age 6 got a title and a release date. Titled Ice Age Boiling Point. The animated adventure is set for February 2027. It'll feature baby Scrat, who I'm praying is way better at finding acorns than his ancient prone father. That's interesting. Apparently, a bunch of lava in this next one. Walt Disney Animations announced their next original film, Hexed, set for November 25th, 2026. The film centers on an oddball teenager and his mother. When the pair discover the teenager's weirdness is actually hidden magic, they're transported to a magical new world. Something new coming from Walt Disney Animation. We're getting another Diary of a Wimpy Kid film on Disney Plus, December 5th.
How many are they up to?
Apparently, this is the 4th animated one.
Yeah,
and I feel like there were live action ones.
Right? 3 live action? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, okay. I know there's been a few. There's all of them.
No, it's enough of a money maker. And then they also showed some footage from Zootopia 2, including the opening, in which police partners Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde get into a car chase that goes horribly wrong. They also confirmed
that's the movie we're excited for.
Yeah. Patrick Warburton will play Zootopia Mayor Windance, who's a really good-looking horse, and Yvette Nicole Brown will play Baroness Bear, who's an EMT officer. Oh no, who will voice Baroness Bear and an EMT otter.
Is that 2 people?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, come on, D23, give us a little bit more. Disney, how do you not have more stuff on your slate? I guess that was just kind of the more family friendly stuff, the Searchlight or 20th Century Fox stuff that they're working on. They didn't mention any Pretty or Badlands in that. At D23.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Even though the only reason that Ice Age is going to be any success when 6 comes out is because of the current Alien show. So they should be showing that their adult audience some more respect.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here's an article from the Hollywood Reporter about an upcoming lawsuit. A little known fact about movie and TV show purchases online: what's bought isn't actually ownership of the title, but rather a limited time license for viewing access. Consider the $4.99 director's cut of Alien on Amazon Prime Video. Cheap, right? But if the tech giant loses the rights to that version, the movie can be replaced with a different cut, like the one for the theaters. And if Amazon loses the rights to the film altogether, it'll completely disappear from the viewer's library. So should Amazon be able to say DirectTuber is buying that movie? Some people don't think so, and they've turned to court. On Friday, a proposed class action lawsuit was filed in Washington federal court over Amazon over a bait and switch in which the company allegedly misleads customers into believing they've purchased content when they're only getting a license to watch it, which can be revoked at any time. Lisa Reingold, who filed the lawsuit, said she bought Bella and the Bulldogs Volume 4 on Amazon on May 2079. May for 2079, but soon lost access to the title. It's not an uncommon occurrence, similarly affecting consumers across digital stores like those hosted by Apple and Google. If you bought Downton Abbey through Amazon as the 5 seasons came out from 2010 to 2015, you'd no longer have them by 2024. The way in which digital transactions are structured, the lack of transparency around them, and the streaming landscape is partially why physical media is kind of cool, or sort of cool again. DVDs offer the ability now and forever to bypass the complicated web of licenses and leave fans unable to access their favorite titles. Of course, the lawsuit accuses Amazon, which didn't respond to a request for comment, of misrepresenting the nature of movie and TV transactions during the purchasing process. Do you reckon they've got a case here?
Don't ask me what I think about it, because you know what I'm going to fucking say with all these goddamn Blu-rays sitting behind me. The fucking Blu-ray sitting right beside me. You know what I'm going to do? Like, eat shit. All you motherfuckers spending too much time on your digital libraries. The gods are coming for you, brother. You gotta.
Do you think they've got a case? Yeah.
No, it's in the T's and C's.
In the fine prints
of all the. It's in the fine print for every digital platform that exists. And also, what happens, because there was a story like this years ago when PlayStation shut off its library on the was it the PS3 one or whatever it was, and people had purchased stuff on that, and then people did the same sort of thing, and they were like, no, it was in the T's and C's that said you only owned it as long as we like blah 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 blah, you agreed to it, and they went nowhere. So this will go nowhere as well. No one reads T's and C's. That's an accepted thing. No one, and I'm not saying you have to, because I'm certainly never going to. Who the fuck is going to sit there and read those things? But let's also accept that because all of us collectively as humanity do not read those things, that it is our fault, and we just accept it. We have to accept and move on, right? So they put things in there that say this. You have no case. Sorry, no one has a case.
Do you think ethically they've got a case?
No.
Do you think? But
is it fucked up? Sure.
Yes. Okay.
Is there any sort of actual case to this? No, I don't. I don't think so.
No, I kind of.
It's only because it is such a like it that is in every digital library thing. They have to put that in there. And why wouldn't they? Like, from a company point of view, if you imagine if any digital library like Apple or Google Play or whatever, let's say they shut down one day, and then what? They suddenly have to refund everyone of 20 years of stuff. Of course, they're going to put something in their fine print that says if our platform goes defunct or we lose the rights for something, you lose it too. Like, you would as like if I was designing that platform and someone suggested to put that in there as a T&C, I'd be like, that's probably a good idea. That'll cover our bases.
I mean, it's kind of weird that they lose the rights to something they've already sold, because, maybe this is something newer, because, I haven't purchased much content online.
I don't think of
the
it.
early
Let me
days
give you an
of Apple and
example.
that kind of stuff. I feel like a lot of my content from then is still there.
We have had, I'm going to put into perspective, because this is how I view it. I have had brands at work that we sold 10 years ago that we no longer deal with, but they still exist. My store no longer sells them, right? People bring back products wanting to do like warranty claims and stuff. It is a mess because we don't deal with them anymore. They don't make that. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like I don't really think of it any different than like we don't sell it anymore, bro. Like they're like, we don't sell this digital thing anymore. We don't want it. You and 3 other people brought it. We decided it wasn't worth keeping on however much we had to pay to keep it as part of our library. Physical media is king. If we all collectively accept, and I've brought some digital movies for $30 or whatever over the years sometimes, I just accept that is a long-time rental. It's a long-time rental that I can watch as many times. I can pay $6 to rent that motherfucker every time. But sometimes, if you want to accept that $30 is a long-time rental, sure, could go one day. If you want to own that shit forever and look at it, can I introduce you once again to this 4K disc?
I mean, if it's pushing digital, but physical media again, it's all for the best. Because they're not going to break into your house and take your disc, are they?
I'll fucking kill them.
That seems a little extreme. But yes, I also love that this is because their purchase of Bella and the Bulldogs Volume 4 suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, they're scrolling through and they're like, hey, I really wanted to watch Bella and the Bulldog. What the fuck?
Bella and the Bulldogs. Apparently it's a Nickelodeon show.
I really wanted to watch Bella and the Bulldogs. They're not like, oh, my copy of Captain America Civil War disappeared. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. That's never going to disappear because they're also going to keep that in the store, right?
Yeah. Shame.
I mean, why wouldn't you keep it? Why wouldn't you keep it in the storefront forever, though?
So I'm saying I don't
understand the licensing fees and amounts.
I don't know how much they have to pay on the back end to make sure it's there every year. I don't think it's free. There's nothing free in this world, you know what I mean?
That's true, but also,
I just don't think it's free.
How are you supposed to sell it if it's not there,
I just think you have to. I always think digital goods have to, at some point in the back end, be treated like real goods, and because that's how companies think. And if you work in a real store, you have to buy a product to sell a product. So it would have to be some sort of same pathway.
Yeah. Okay. Final story for this week. Warner Brothers and New Line's Mortal Kombat 2 will now fight towards the start of next summer on May 15th, 2026, instead of October 24th this year. What the? Why is the highly anticipated sequel moving to next year after notching record views of a Red Band trailer? 107 million global views. Precisely that. Simon McQuaid-directed sequel is bound to deliver tons more in mid-May and staying in a crowded late April frame where 20th Century Studios' Jeremy Allen White by Bruce Springsteen movie Springsteen to Me From Nowhere and the recent Colleen Hoover feature take Paramount's Regretting You exists. Also, Halloween is in the next weekend, and while that's not a so vibrant time at the box office. Mid-May wound up being a bonza time frame for Warner Brothers this year. This past summer with Final Destination Bloodlines opening to a franchise record of $51.6 million. To date, the 3 Mortal Kombat movies from New Line have minted $257 million around the globe. We also understand research screenings have been strong for the sequel, which stars Carl Urban alongside Adele Rudolph, McNamee, Josh Lawson, Ludi Lin, Makar Brooks, Taddy Gabriel, Lewis Tan, Damon Harriman, and a bunch of other people. Specifically, Hiroyuki Tanada. Dylan, do you think this is a good move? Are we gonna is the hype so good for Mortal Kombat 2?
I would have said no.
Your personal hype is not up.
My personal hype is not up. And I don't recall. I mean, it's hard to tell these days. Like after Elon Musk ruined social media, my pulse of what's cooking, good looking on the pop culture train. I feel like it's harder to get a pulse test. You know what I mean? Than when social media was a real thing we could use. I mean, yeah, cool. Whatever. Yeah, cool. What was the question?
Are we going to get a good Mortal Kombat 2, I guess?
Yeah, nah.
I know the test audiences. People dug the trailer.
Yeah, cool. They just get people that, yeah. The trailer was boring, to be honest. I thought it was boring. I'm not the audience.
Clearly, this is a good move. Hopefully, it's a good move.
You can't say both. Is it clearly or is it hopefully? Right?
I think it's hopefully because I'm also thinking about the other movie this year that they moved into summer, thinking it was going to be a big hit or like closer to, that period in Mickey 17, which did not hit, despite everybody loving the trailer and being very excited. So
what was the cause for that?
The movie not being that good.
Yeah, well, is that what we think it is?
As to why it didn't do great at the box office? That being a new IP, being very weird. Robert Pattinson doing a weird voice.
Hey.
I'm here for his weird voice. But I'm sure it freaks some people out. So, we'll wait and see. Yeah, let's move on. Obviously, last week we made some picks from a Venice Film Festival for our What Do You Want to Watch movie fantasy game. This week we've got to make some picks from the Toronto Film Festival, the final picks in our game. And they could be very consequential because, as I said last week, Dylan has very quickly caught up. Last week,
you let me play this game.
I didn't make the rules of the other game, so I mean I don't know what to tell you. I literally have to hold your hand and say, make sure you make picks, otherwise you don't do it. Last week,
yes,
before the wildcard picks went through, the scores were me at 148 and Dylan at 122. After the reviews of Venice, I'm currently sitting at 169. Dylan is sitting at 171 in the lead. And now I'm very nervous because I think you've got 2 extra films to get points later in the year, and I
what took my big what did the best there for me, do you reckon?
No other choice. That was the highest scoring of all the ones. So, netting you 36 points. I don't know how that happened, but yeah,
it's your spreadsheet, man.
Spreadsheets, numbers. And it was that and Jay Kelly only getting a 64 on Metacritic. Underperforming to my expectations. So, yeah. So let's make some picks from the Toronto Film Festival. A little bit tricky because you need to pick films that have not been reviewed yet, and a lot of the films that are showing at Toronto have appeared screened very recently, either at Telluride or at Venice, or
there's some films showing there I've seen already.
So yeah, Dylan wants the first pick.
I'm picking Eternity. That was my first pick. Definitely not my 6th.
Yep. Okay.
We watched the trailer. It's the one where trying to remember who the fuck's in it now. Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, and someone whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. And they all love the same girl, and one dies, and then they all go to heaven and fight. It looks funny. It looks like it has a interesting take on, if heaven or whatever is a real place, and you remarry after your World War whatever lover died.
Yeah.
What's the go? Eternity.
Okay. So, because it's one of the ones put
really glad I got that one.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the documentary John Candy, I Like Me, which is being directed by Colin Hanks and produced by Ryan Reynolds. And is I think it's pretty self-explanatory. A documentary about good John Candy before his untimely passing. Surely people are going to love that. So yeah. What's your second pick?
My second pick, there's no fucking way you're going to tell me this is screened or played anywhere, and there's no way you was going to pick it, so I felt comfortable. It is Dust Bunny, which is Brian Fuller's directorial debut, the guy who's did the Hannibal TV series, amongst other things. You going to double check me?
No, I just want to see what this.
I don't think there's anything about it really, other than a synopsis. I'm picking it solely for it. The synopsis is an 8-year-old girl asks her scheming neighbor for help in killing the monster under her bed that she thinks ate her family. It stars Mads Mikkelsen, David Dasmalstra, I can never say his name, and Sigourney Weaver and Rebecca Henderson. But I mean, I'm a big Brian Fuller fan. So
who isn't a bird?
Hey?
I enjoy his more. I like Pushing Daisies.
Yeah, you like some of his other stuff.
His whimsical stuff. You like the stuff where people eating people.
Well, yeah. yeah.
When you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously, like, really enjoyed when he was doing American Gods until he was kicked off and then it went to shit. And they thought, obviously, they thought changing the show creator would make it more appealing and stuff, but it ruined what it had going for it. And then the show ended anyway. So looking back, that's very funny. But obviously, me and Nick, shout outs at the time, were we enjoyed the show when he was doing it, and it was a lot more artistic and exciting and had more of his sort of vibe from Hannibal in it. So yeah, this is his first film, so written directed by him. Based on that, I'm keen. Cast is good obviously as well, but yeah.
All right, what am I gonna pick? I'm tossing up.
See why I felt comfortable in my second pick?
Yeah, I didn't scroll that far down. You know? Midnight screenings.
I saw this pop up because I follow him on Instagram, so I did say that. That was like that was one I was aware of. Yeah.
I'm tossing up between two movies. Screw it. I'm gonna go Roof Band.
That hasn't screened.
I'm very sure that hasn't screened. It's debuting at Toronto International Film Festival on the 6th of September.
I've seen that trailer a lot in cinemas at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do debut some buzzy films. So this is the film in which Channing Tatum plays a fugitive of the law who is hiding in the roof of a Toys R Us.
True story.
I mean, the other one that I was tossing up with, would you believe the once retired Steven Soderbergh has another film coming out this year?
Shocked. He doesn't say he's retired anymore, does he? He's not. Yeah.
He's making up for the time that he was retired.
Yeah, he just makes a movie every year now. Yeah. That's 2 movies in a year then, isn't it?
Might be 3, right? Didn't he do... Who did the Presents movie? Is that him? Oh, Presents. You know? The one in the house?
That was last year, wasn't it?
Okay. Technically, that was last year. Yeah, Black Bag came out this year.
I think it released here later.
Yeah,
we got Black
that's probably
Bag,
what happened.
Closer, yeah. Yeah, Black Bag had delayed release here, but Black Bag released around the same time worldwide, so... really good movie. People should watch it. Just love listening to interviews about him being like, my movie performed terribly at the box office and I can't wait for cinema to die.
I mean, yeah. You know, he's got a movie called The Christmas with Ian McKellen in it, and Macaulay Cole, which Jessica Gunning, James Corden. One of those doesn't fit with the others.
You were saying good names, and then I was like, that's an intriguing cast of people. 3 people you listed, and then you hit me with James Corden at the end. He's a surprising motherfucker. He pops up when you least expect it.
But yeah, I mean, you look at his resume since, I guess, he went on that break post Behind the Candelabra, I think was the last technical film that he did.
Yeah, then he was like, I'm going to make nothing but TV. Make nothing. And he went and did the Then
Nick. He came back and did Logan Lucky. He's got a movie out every single year since. Some years too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't like when people say they're going to retire. Like, sometimes I'm like, just, like, especially when they're creative people. Like, he's a creative person. And whenever you can listen to, if you watch any interviews and stuff with him, I don't think it's that he was just burnt out at the time and wanted to do something different. And that's fine. I don't feel like that's why sometimes I'm like, you don't need to retire, dude. You don't need to say you're retiring.
Use definitives.
Yeah.
Quentin.
Just
I mean, if Tarantino comes back to cinema, he's like pumping out a film a year.
Now the problem is with him is I believe he's been such an asshole of a stickler for that for his entire life. Like he put out Pulp Fiction, was like, well, 8 films left, guys. Like, dude, just fucking relax, fucking relax. He's out here going, man, people who make too many movies, they just ruin their careers and stuff like that. I'm like, who are you looking at? Like fucking Spielberg or something? You're trying to say that's because Spielberg
Scorsese,
because he doesn't have 100%
Soderbergh.
hit rate. Some of these people that they're like ruin their careers. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You're allowed to make bad films. Just make some fucking bad. The problem, he's just obsessed with. Don't get me started. His obsession with
too good of a streak.
The perfect filmography is like his obsession, and it actually annoys me. Get off your high horse.
So let's see how the rest of. I'm keen to see how the rest of the year plays out and fill out a movie phase game, but I'm not confident anymore. So I might just shut the game down at some point. Let's just move on to talking about some trailers. It's all right. I've lost one of these games before, so it's all good. Let's give some thumbs on trailers. Of course, you can find all the trailers we're about to talk about in the show notes below. A big week for trailers. There are a bunch that I couldn't add in because of restrictions, self-imposed restrictions. So kicking this off, we've got Sisu, Road to Revenge, directed by Jalmari Helenda, starring Jorma Tamila, Stephen Lang, and Richard Brake. After returning in 1946 to Soviet-occupied Karelia, where his family was brutally murdered during World War II, Atima Korpi, the man who refuses to die, dismantles his old family house, loads it on a truck, and is determined to rebuild it somewhere safe in their honor. When the Red Army discovers Korpi's arrival on their soil, Igor Dragunov, the man who killed his family, comes back hellbent on finishing the job. Kill the legendary ex-soldier by any means necessary. Dylan, did you end up watching the original Sisu?
No, I didn't. Although watching this trailer did make me go, oh yeah, I should get around to that.
Same. So what did you think of this trailer?
Looked like a fun time. Good time. I guess he survives the first film.
What's the point of going back?
What is the point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the going on this journey? Obviously, this is the director of Rare Exports, which you'll classically remember we'd watched for Over Exposure Network Christmas last year, although. I don't know if you're aware of that, but
yeah, those two movies it's very, very similar.
I think the guy who plays Sisu is the guy who played. I can't remember if he was Santa Claus or one of the, but he's in that movie. I remember looking it up when Cece's original trailer came out, and I was being like, "Oh yeah, same actor." There you go. Double thumbs up. Yeah, I think it's a fun trailer. I think adding what's his name? Sam.
No, Stephen Lang.
No, Stephen Lang. Thank you. I think and Stephen Lang as the bad guy is good pull. He seems like he's having a good time as a manacled bad guy looking for revenge, I guess, because the Sisu lead dude took out all his men in the last film or something. So
I think he played. So the guy who plays Sisu played the main dad.
There we go. Yeah.
So 2 thumbs up. Looks over the top bonkers, but set in 1945 World War II. You know, some of the stuff that he pulls off with that wood is crazy. And for a second, I'm like, are they going to do a full Mad Max? Is that what this movie's going to be? They're just going to be driving on this road and he's going to be taking out all these Nazis or Soviet Union people on his way to wherever he's going. But no, obviously there's a little bit more plot to that. But yeah, looks bonkers. Keen to check it out. Keen to check out the original movie. Maybe we'll do a spoiler cast because, stuff. Content. Yeah. Looks really crazy, And knowing that going in, I think, is helpful. Sisu, Road to Revenge, coming to Finland on the 22nd of October, here to Australia on the 20th of November.
How rude that they would get their own film earlier.
Yeah, crazy. Next trailer is for The Lowdown. I've got created by Steven Sterling Harger. Starring Ethan Hawke, Keith David, Kanehito Horn, Ron Kiriara Armstrong, Jeannie Triplethorne, and Carl McLaughlin. A determined bookstore owner in Tulsa moonlights as an investigative journalist, digging into local corruption. When his reporting uncovers sinister connections, he must protect both his family and the truth. Then what do you think of the trailer for The Lowdown?
didn't like it. It looked very generic to me. Like, no, I just nothing other than, I guess, the cast. So, like this, like I'm watching it going, well, the cast seems good. They look like they're having time, and there's a lot of decently named actors and stuff for it. But I was just, by the time I got to the end, I was like, I don't know. That did nothing for me. I'm going to be completely honest. I couldn't put my finger on it. Something seems off. I'm going double thumbs down.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. I think the Keith David David narration on top of Ethan Hawke's performance sold me on it. So, interesting setting, interesting place. Can you check this one out? This comes to cinemas. Oh no, this comes to Disney Plus, September 24th. Next trailer is for The Savant, created by Melissa James Gibson, starring Jessica Chastain, Namandi Asamahuga, apologize, and Pablo Schreiber. An undercover investigator known as The Savant balances life at home with tracking online hate groups to stop domestic extremists before they act. So, what do you think of the trailer for this new Apple TV miniseries?
Annoyed it's not a movie, but otherwise I think it looks really good. I was watching it going, man, this looks like a really good thriller. And I was like, fuck, it's a TV show. God damn it. I mean, obviously it's a very interesting subject matter to explore, something a little bit more, I like the perspective of, because I guess there is the job's real, the reality of it would be real, having to look and deal with all the shit.
It's based on
someone's book or something, is it?
Book or a podcast, something like that.
Yeah, okay. Because if it is based on something, I'd nearly be interested in checking that out too. Solely because based on the trailer, the only part that sort of turned me off a bit was it seemed to a little bit of jumping the shark towards the end. But if it's, I don't know, maybe if it's reality, then obviously
it's based on a Cosmopolitan article.
Okay.
True life story.
Could be combining multiple people, I guess, is something.
Yeah.
You'd have to read the article, but
inspired.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, this the suddenly it's like they've got the pictures of your kids and all that, and then they're coming for it. I'm like, oh god, now we're turning into it. But otherwise, I'm keen. Very good. Obviously, Apple TV success with their TV shows usually. I just finished the last one, so that was fun.
Smoke, yeah.
Smoke.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up for me. It looks really good. I mean, Jessica Chastain is pretty solid at picking stuff lately. Really interesting concepts. I didn't have an issue with the idea of her getting too heavily involved, I guess, personally. I feel like maybe there's a segment where she kind of goes undercover or something like that. That is the impression that I got. So, yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, looks really good. The Savants, coming to Apple TV Plus on the 26th of September. Next trailer was for Chad Powers, created by Glenn Powell and Michael Waldron, starring Glenn Powell, Steve Zahn, Toby Huss, Perry Matfield, Clayne Crawford, Wynn Everett, Frankie A. Rodriguez, Colton Ryan, Keith Wilson, Xavier Mills, and Quinton Blair. A disgraced college quarterback named Russ Holliday disguises himself as Chad Powers and walks on to a struggling Southern football team to revive his football career. Dylan, you love sports. What do you think of the trailer for Chad Powers?
I may not love sports, but what I do love is Glenn Powell. And I also love Glenn Powell just continuing his apparent thing now where he dresses up as characters. He's like, it's because maybe he really loved doing it, I'm forgetting the name of that movie now, but the spy one, the whatever it was, the undercover one, the fucking Netflix movie, the Richard Linklater movie.
Oh, Hitman.
Fuck you.
Sorry, I forgot.
Staring at me like that. Staring at me like I'm going insane.
He had so many faces in that I forgot his actual face was one of
them. God damn it. Because that's what I was thinking about while I was watching this. I was like, oh.
That didn't even cross my mind. Maybe because they like introduced Mrs. Doubtfire at the start of the trailer. It's like, yeah, he's doing Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, but I was like, I was just watching it going, man, he must have really enjoyed doing that in that movie. That he was like, you know what I need to do? I need to do that again. And that's what I do here. So, no, obviously this is double thumbs up. This looks great. This is a great time. Glenn Powell just continues to be the guy.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up from me. Just the ridiculousness and like you know eventually it's all going to blow up his face, and keen to see
He's
how
got a big
that plays
face,
out.
so it'll blow up and hit him for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Won't
or
miss.
it'll melt in his face. I don't know. Just the little segments of like you can't take his helmet off because the stuff stuck to it, and you can't have a shower.
I would love to be in there. I know
you'd
would.
love to be in there too.
No, I wouldn't.
Tell you what, Steve Zahn getting a lot of work lately. You know, showed up in the Caesar Silo. He was in that movie Eeny Meeny that I talked about last week. He's in this. You know, Steve Zahn is
maybe changed his age or something.
Yeah, maybe get some stuff. Cool. Chad Powers coming to Disney Plus, 30th of September. Last trailer for this week, Begonia. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, starring Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delbus, Stavros Halkias, and Alicia Silverstone. Two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. So what did you think of this latest trailer for the latest Yorgos Lanthimos film?
Just the other thing about that, there's like two. We're in the second phase of Emma Stone's career, right? It's just very funny to think about her, like 6 years ago career to what she's doing now and what she's sort of becoming known for. It's very interesting. Double thumbs up. Looks like a very good time. Looks very funny to me. I going to assume I haven't watched the original or anything, but I'm going to assume that because this what. Remember I said that last time, didn't it? It's based on a
based on
actually
film.
Based on the yeah. But I'm gonna say she's actually an alien.
Whoa, bold choice.
There's my hot take.
I don't know if I can condone the idea of conspiracy theorists being correct. I think that's a bad message to get there. But yeah, two thumbs up for me. This trailer looks crazy. Jesse Plemons looks crazy. You know, there's that segment when he's running across the table, like fucking creep. Yeah, I think it's cut together really well. A lot of the scenes of Emma Stone sing along to the song in the trailer. Yeah, really great. So, keen to check this one out. Begonia is coming to Australian cinemas on 30th of October. All right, let's move into this week's top 3.
Yeah, let's do that.
And this week's top 3, in honor of the Roses coming to cinemas, this week's top 3 is top 3 Olivia Colman roles. Actress with a lot of credits to her name. A lot more recently. Bigger names. So yeah, Dylan, what is your number 3?
Number 3 is Broadchurch, the TV series. Not the first thing I'd seen her in. The first thing I'd seen her in was Peep Show, where she's plays one of the main characters, on again, off again girlfriend. But Peep Show is the first thing where I was like, oh, she's good. You know, like that's the first time I remember being like, oh, Olivia Colman. You know, like sort of noticing her name a bit more and stuff like that. So she plays the other main cop in the show next to David Tennant, and across its 3 seasons it ran before they turned it into an American version, and David Tennant was in that one as well.
My number 3 is her turn in Hot Fuzz, which played PC Doris Thatcher. Probably the first thing I saw her in, you know, and kind of, you know, shows the incredible range that she has. You know, although at the time she was probably known more for doing comedy stuff based on Peep Show and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, really funny in that film. It's a great one. My number 3. Then what's number 2?
Number 2, mentioned it 2 episodes in a row. It's The Father again, but this time
I feel like our top 2s are going to be the same because my number 2 is also The Father.
There you go. Obviously, last time we talked about how good. Last week talked about how good Anthony Hopkins is in that movie as an older gentleman. Olivia Colman plays the daughter of Anthony Hopkins in this film. Very at times hard to watch her go through what she's going through alongside him, and she gives it fantastic performance as well. So
yeah, absolutely. You know, While Anthony Hopkins is kind of the one, dealing with his own dementia. She's the one who actually has to deal with it in reality, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. Yeah, I mean, fantastic performance by Olivia Colman. Dylan, what is our number one?
Our number one is linking up many things that have already been mentioned on this podcast so far. I already mentioned Tony McNamara. I already mentioned Yorgos Lanthimos. Our number one is The Favourite.
Yeah.
Here's Emma Stone as well.
Yep.
Yeah. I definitely, obviously she gives such a ridiculous performance at times in this. She plays such a bitch as Queen Anne. But that's what makes it so fun. And I mean, in reality, this is the film that changed her career. This took her from this is the film that elevated her. You look at her after this, and it's like she was doing whatever she wanted, I think. So
I mean, it's the film that changed her career. I mean, I would say her turn in the Crown. She won multiple Emmys.
That's probably what got her for this. Yeah, true.
You would assume so.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth, Queen Anne, one the same.
Same difference, yeah. Yeah. Very different performances, though.
Yeah.
Even if they're both queens.
Very different queens, you would say. Yeah, I mean, super memorable, super crazy, incredible chemistry with both Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's I think that is definitely the film that is cemented her as she won the Academy Award for the film, and it's hard to go past that. So, The Favourite. All right, Dylan, this week, what do you want to watch?
The Conjuring Last Rites? I think that's what it's called. Is going to be my film pick. On the TV front, I don't think there's anything. Unless we want to count High to Low as a TV thing.
No, I'm not counting How High's to Lowest because I'm counting that as the movie that I'm excited to watch this week. Of course, coming to Apple TV Plus, not in cinemas, but very keen for that. I will say it's kind of squeaking on the TV front. On Monday, the 8th of September, Task, the new series from the creator of Mayor of Easttown, is coming to HBO, starring Mark Ruffalo.
Now, I will say I'm excited for that. I will want to know, just for perspective, I only ever look at this week as this week. Just one note. I'm not saying what you're doing. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong, right? No need to get so defensive, right? No need to get so defensive. Listeners, I'm not bullying him. I'm just saying I look at the week, or else I would have.
Your week ends on a Saturday, on a Sunday.
My week never ends.
Your week actually just ends on a Friday because that's when nothing comes out.
When what?
Nothing comes out on a Sunday here in Australia.
It's true. It's very true. But yeah, no, I am excited for that. Love a bit of Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, isn't
Firth?
I said Mark Ruffalo.
I'll throw it out names.
All right, let us know what you want to watch this week. By letting us know on Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com, or find us on other social media at ExplosionPod. If you want to help us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review at Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars. I think you can leave 5 stars, or tell people about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.